This side-by-side is perfect for farmers. Today we're looking at the Kawasaki Ridge Crew. I'll include a link to the Jorgensen Power Sports website in the description down below. They're providing us with this Ridge Crew. They also have a Ford store next door if you're looking for new Fords. Let's get right into it. Powering this is a 999cc four-cylinder, putting out 92 horsepower and then 65.8 pound-feet of torque. Now you probably noticed that the bed is lifted up, and that's one of the cool things about this is the bed is really easy to lift up so you can access the engine. And this is fixed, by the way, so I have to grab the handle again, pull it up, that'll unlock it, and then I can push the bed back down. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. This one is fully enclosed, so you have a windshield with a windshield wiper. Down below, I love that intake, by the way, but you've got headlights with this Kawasaki badge front and center, and a bumper that can take an impact. Altogether, the front end has quite a bit of practicality for a side-by-side. Tire and wheel setup is 27 by 9 by 14, and just like other side-by-sides, really aggressive tires. The wheel design also looks really nice with the silver and the metallic gray. We'll talk about suspension comfort during the driving, but you can see you've got plenty of travel and clearance. Now this one's the Crew, so we've got 4 doors. And while we're back here, here is the side profile. This is where you'll note that we have got that truck bed in the back. Before we dive into the bed, here's a quick look at the logos there on the side. Now super easy to access. You just have a little handle there for the tailgate. Now it's very light. It's a pretty small tailgate in general, but it's not dampened, so just make sure you lower that under your own strength. Very durable materials for the bed, and they've designed this to store wood easy with all these slots. They kind of imagine a farmer using this rig. And like I said, super, super light. And more badges on the back. This does also come equipped with taillights. That is going to cap things off for the exterior. Let's check out the back seats. I will say the door handles are very intuitive, and then we've got these seats. You've got the Ridge logo on them. Base back here is great. The seat's pretty high, and so like even if you're tall, have long legs like me, very comfortable. You got a little storage net down below. Again, we've got windows here in the back, and there's plenty of headroom. Let's now check out the front. So on the front door panel itself are the controls for the windows. That's for the driver's side. That is for the passenger side to roll them down and up, and then you got the little handle down below. And I just realized I forgot to mention that the back passengers also have windows that are power up and down. And if we're going to talk about things I forgot, this also has a receiver hitch. Back to the front, Ridge on the seats again. Talk about the comfort with drive. The steering wheel has more basic trim, but it's all about durability. Now these controls are actually for the center screen, and it's hilarious how the system works. So press return, that'll pull up the screen here, and then you press up and down to go through the different options. Then once you have an option chosen, then you press select. The cluster itself is digital. I do like the kind of animation there, video game-esque in a lot of ways. It also lets you know what's happening with the drive line. And speaking of drive line, you got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and then you have a lock to fully lock the system into 4-wheel drive. This does also come with a high and a low, so that would be for, you know, kind of think like steep crawling and everything, or you know, if you're going through the field and it's a little bit mucky and you want a little bit more torque to the ground, but high is what you'll be driving it in most of the time. This is also equipped with interior climate controls, got a little storage pocket below that. These window controls are for the rear passengers. It also has a glove box. I mean, this is basically just a full-on car inside. Rear view mirror too, I mean, it says it all. When it comes to pricing, this starts at about $31,000 before options. Anyways, let's see how it performs. By the way, sorry if this GoPro view is not super ideal. Still trying to figure that out for these side-by-sides. But by the way, for park, you have that brake, and then you actually have it in neutral. But here, since we're on the grass, I'll show you guys the lower. So here's high. Okay, in high, kind of got to rev it a little bit. Right, it moves along. Now if we pop it into low, it's like a low range that you have, you know, in an off-road vehicle. So it's not exactly the same, but it is cool that they're able to kind of mimic that with these side-by-sides. So that if you're in, let's not go down that part, you know, mud or something like that, and you need a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more torque to the ground, it's got it. Now the power doesn't sound like it's too much, right? You hear, you know, 90 something horsepower, but you gotta remember this is a small lightweight vehicle, but you do definitely have to get into it a bit. That is something to note. This kind of feels like a cargo van. I've reviewed quite a few cargo vans over the years, and you sit super upright, really close to the front, and that's how this feels. Oh, it's kilometers. And we're in 2-wheel drive, by the way. We don't need 4-wheel drive. But again, you can just flick a switch for that. I mean, this has decent power. Definitely have to kind of stay into it. I mean, I can tell you with this one, you can definitely tell that this one's more so for like driving off-road and through the field rather than driving on the street. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll just be on here for a short little bit. Not too bad, actually. It can get up to speed. Again, that's kilometers. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, having all this weight up top for like the cabin and everything, you do get a little bit of body roll. It's not bad. But this is, you can tell this is not like meant to be, I mean, it can drive at speed, but this isn't a vehicle that you're driving particularly fast. This is kind of like more of a laid back cruiser. Again, that's why you got seats in the back. You know, you throw some people in, go up some fun trails, but at a leisurely pace. Yeah, it's crazy how much different this is. Wow. It's like, again, it feels very cargo van-esque. I think that's the best way for me to describe it. It's very cargo van-esque. The suspension is pretty comfortable. It doesn't have a crazy amount of travel like here over this little bump. But I mean, it does just fine. So, I'll get stopped up here in a second. In conclusion, I think this drives really well. It's comfortable, it's got tons of space, it's got a truck bed, it can tow a little bit. But like I said, this is like a vehicle you get because you're driving around your own property. Like, you know, my wife and I, we own about 5.5 acres. Now, I walk it currently. But I will say, even on 5.5 acres, like some of the times, like for example, with parts for a fence or food for animals and all that kind of stuff, it would be nice to have something where I can just throw it in a little bed and then just kind of drive down to the, you know, different parts of the property, even though it's not crazy big. But yeah, I mean, if you had like, you know, 20 acres, for example, this would be perfect. You just kind of, again, you're leisurely going down little dirt roads you have through your property, and great little rig for that, I can tell. Lots of practicality built in. Less for street driving though, but it can do it technically, but it's not, you know, it's less than 100 horsepower. But let me know your thoughts.